We are on.
Oh boy.
We're here.
Yay.
It's good.
This is special.
It is special. We're doing something a little different today. We're going to check it out and see if we. I'm just going to talk with Don because I like Don. You're all right.
Yeah.
I mean, besides the gray hair, I love it. But I can't really say too much about it. I don't guess.
You have no room to talk, Frosty. Frosty goes right down the middle. I don't know if you can pick that up on the camera.
Well, I've got a little skunk stripe. Actually, is what's going on.
You should highlight that.
It's good. Hey, there's Bob.
Bob.
You talk about a gray-haired dude. Right
Whoa.
There's a gray-haired dude.
We hope to do a skit next week with Bob in it.
Well, what about Bob?
Yes.
That's what I'd say. There's no real knowing about Bob.
Bob's headed out west.
Well,
That's
I feel
sad.
sad. How was your day?
It was good. It's good. Having a little eye strain problem, but working that out.
Too much work. You're on computers all day.
Yeah,
That's what happens.
Strains your eyeballs, especially if you're a very diligent worker. Type.
And so why are your eyes strained then?
Well, that might be a good question.
I don't know why your eyes would be strained if that was the case. So we've got Dave is still out of town. He's over hanging out.
Miss Dave a lot.
He's out in California. Bob is here. Bob is one. Hey, Bob, how did you do on the bowling this weekend?
We are the champions.
Oh my goodness, they won!
Thanks to Arnold.
Way to go, Arnold!
Way to go, Arnold.
200 every game.
Are you
Arnold hit 200
serious?
every game?
Oh, 188 or something like that.
I didn't even realize you were
That's
that good,
fantastic.
Arnold.
Killing it.
I had no idea.
647.
Wow.
Wow.
So what do you get for that? Like $10,000 a piece, something like that?
A quarter.
Well, I think they play on a Christian league.
Oh,
So
Everybody wins.
so whatever they give, they got to give 10%.
Well.
What should we be expecting this week?
About a buck and a half.
About $1.50. Very good.
They're the ones
Not
that
even enough to take us out to dinner.
they sponsor the participation awards that everyone gets.
That's sweet. The one, yeah, which is not, because if you're a winner, then
Right. No one loses.
I hate that. We don't have that on softball, which
No.
is really great. Well,
Yeah.
I take that back. They have some little something about it. But if you're not a winner, you're a loser.
Yes.
I don't care what the story is. I'm just telling you, if you don't win, you lose.
Listen, I don't know if you've been to Christian ladies softball games.
I've not.
Oh my goodness.
Don, are you aware of this? I'm a Christian, but I'm not a lady.
Yes, but you do go and support like your daughter. And
My
stuff.
daughter, but that's a different thing altogether. And I
She's
got to tell
not
you,
Christian?
she's Christian, but this is not a Christian league. I can promise you that.
I
No,
got you.
none of that.
Well, is there a difference in how they act?
I don't think so.
No.
I've seen some Christian softball leagues. I'm pretty positive these are healthier and cleaner than those are. I don't know that to be the case. I've only seen a couple, and the one I said, wow, these guys are Christians? Okay, awesome.
I've seen my sisters play, and it was woo. What do they mean by that when they're doing that out there in the audience?
This is as going as it gets.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we're not doing a Bible study tonight. We're conversing tonight. We're having fun talking. So yeah, we'll get to whatever happens whenever it happens. So if you're going to be rushed,
There's the door.
yeah, probably you should go practice some bowling or something. 'Cause
But if you feel the need
Yeah.
or urge to
Yeah.
be spiritual, we'll recognize you.
We
Raise
would.
your hand.
Raise your hand. That'll be the best part. Give us a hallelujah, and we'll know what's going on over there. Yeah, no, we're not going to do like a study. We're changing it up because we're just not. It doesn't feel like we're getting anywhere. We talk about the same things all the time, and what I think is happening is we've kind of talked about this a little bit. There's like 3 levels of people in the world. Are you with me? And I used to say 2: those who like Neil Diamond and those who don't.
And now what's the third?
Well, I'm changing
Those
it.
who don't know who he is.
Exactly. There you go. There you go. That's a good
That's the
one.
younger
That's a good
generation.
one. Those who have no idea who Neil Diamond is. That's good.
Don't say too much.
No,
My
there's
wife
like
liked
3
Neil
things
Diamond.
we've been talking about it, kind of in this middle road thing. We've been talking about that, where there's this group that we'll put them on the bottom, but there's this group that they're all church all the time, every time, right?
Yes.
And that's their deal. And then there's this other group up there that doesn't mind. And this group, by the way, is more Judeo than they are Christian. They
Gotcha.
are Christian, but they're Judeo-Christian, which means they got a list of rules as long as your arm. And so it's more about what you don't do as opposed to what you should do and those kind of things. So then the next level up the rung is this group of people that they may go to church, they may not go to church. They're Creasters, they go Christmas and Easter, but they're not mad at the church, but
No.
they're not really all that interested because Yeah, it's okay, but
Yeah.
it's not great. And then there's this other one that's, antagonistic towards Christ and the things of Christ. So somewhere along the line, we've been working on that first row all the time on here. Well, that first row, if they were actually on a Wednesday night legalistic, they'll be in church.
Yeah.
So the people that would want to hear the Bible study, they would actually be in church. The next row, which doesn't mind church, but really it helps us to just be a little more spiritual, but not over the top spiritual, just to be a representative as opposed to a preacher about it or a Bible instructor. And those are the people that happen by on Facebook, because they're not in church. So they're out kind of cruising Facebook, and they stop by, and you got 2 or 3 guys with their Bible open up going, here's the story, and they're going, it's not really.
So really.
If I wanted to go to church, I'd go to church. And so we never get the opportunity to ever reach those people with the gospel in a real way, not in a biblical teaching, line upon line. If they were interested in that, they'd be in church on Wednesday night.
It's kind of like preaching to the choir, except the choir's already at church. So
it's even better.
We're not hitting any targets out there.
We're hitting zero. We're big fat goose egg.
Well, and what we're doing is experimenting a little bit to see if we can generate a little more interest to the people who aren't in church that may tune in and find something that they like here.
Yeah. If you're free, you can be free.
Yeah.
That's the reality of it. If you're not free, then you have to be held by some level of a format, some level of rules and regulations.
Well, you're tugged back. If you're underneath that regulation, you're pulled back. We spoke about that here Sunday.
Yeah.
The group did here at the Hub. The gathering that gathers here talked about the weights of their church history, whatever that might be, and how it projected on them a set of criteria by which they kind of do their life and are drawn.
Yeah.
And the idea of freedom, liberty, true freedom, where you can express yourself without sometimes we reach a plateau because we're meeting all this criteria and we're like, I guess this is it.
Well, working hard for the saved people. That's really what it amounts to. And they're supposed to be saved, so why are we working so hard for them? The Bible's pretty clear about that. Look, the 90 and the 9, right? And then there's this 1 that's missing.
Yeah.
And we're supposed to go after the 1.
Yeah.
We're supposed to leave the 90 and the 9 and go after the 1. And we've not, as the collective of the church, we've been historically horrific at that particular endeavor. We spend way more time coddling the 90 and the 9 than we do actually reaching out to the 1. So that's kind of the effort. The effort is to try and figure out ways that will actually work.
Yeah.
And again, we're becoming free.
Yeah.
As a people, as a group of people, we're experiencing freedom like never before. And because of that, there's a whole different level of our capacity to be able to communicate in different ways, which is really cool.
Isn't it interesting to try to find your way in a freer way of life? I don't know how. There's probably a lot of ways you could say that, but
there's a lot of ways I could say it. I don't know what you could say.
Well, here's the deal: you've got this whole open field now. You're like, you know what? I always thought I had to march in that path, that tight path that my religion has taught me. Mm-hmm. Now I'm free, and now get this. Maybe I do misstep. Okay, that's where the brotherhood, the gathering, you've got brothers that say, come on, man, that seems a little...
So you're saying beforehand, when you were living under the law, that wasn't a misstep at all?
Well, here's the thing. As long as I met that measuring stick, whatever it was, okay.
Yeah, whatever it was. And culturally, it was different. We talked about that Sunday as well, where there's like in this location, this culture exists, and then in this location, this culture exists. You could say poop here, but you can't say it here. If you said poop here, oh my God, heaven would part and lightning would come down and you would die and the earth would open up and swallow you up. But here, it's okay to say poop, which is a whole, and again, I'm using poop because that's just a word that's, goofy and... It's cleaner than the other word, right? I appreciate that, Bob. But again, if you'd use that word, oh my God, I mean,
Well, that's the whole idea behind, you mentioned Judeo. Jesus said, no. He actually made a whip and drove that mess out of the temple and just flipped tables and said, come on, This is not what it's about at all. It's not. And the woman caught in adultery, we talked about that recently, where, okay, go and sin no more. Right. In other words, at some level, come on, we're all bozos on the same bus. We're all, you know what? We're all saved by God's grace every time, all the time.
Well, all those who are saved are saved by God's grace. All those that are trying to be saved by their good works are not saved.
No.
That's a sad state, but that's the reality. If you're trying to be saved according to the Word of God,
but isn't that
then Christ died for nothing.
Yes.
Yeah.
But isn't that the freedom we want to not only help ourselves but help others reach, is that freedom exists. It is. And it's Jesus. Jesus Christ is the one credited with all of it. Yeah. Not you, even though your track record may be better than mine. Yeah. It's not you, brother.
No. At the end of that day, everybody's going to have the same thing. Got 5 minutes left. Wow. You can just say you got 5 minutes left.
You got 5 minutes left.
5 minutes left to the first commercial is what she means. We're going to have a little break, and then we're going to come back. We're going to have you guys join in with us. We're going to have the phone call. Rach, the number is 704-712-20. What? 7325. I can't ever remember these numbers.
I thought you had it written down.
I did, but I didn't want to pull it out. I wanted to be cool.
And
so
it's all about the look, isn't it?
And then
is that why you're wearing that T-shirt tonight?
My brain. What's wrong with the T-shirt?
Well, blues revival. Maybe we could just leave the word revival on.
Can you see? Well, if you
weren't
so religious,
Sunday all day.
Sunday.
I got it.
It's not a Christian shirt. It's not a Christian shirt. It's just a shirt. It's got a guitar on it. That's why I have it on.
Oh, you really were going for the cool look.
Yeah, I'm just being cool. That's me. I'm cool completely. That's all there is to it. Whew. Hello. Dewey's just taking phone calls while we're here. It's all good. Don't worry about us. We're just online, Dewey. It's
good.
Brother's working us out. Oh. So what are we going to do here tonight? We got this number, 704-712.
No, 312.
312.
Oh my gosh, Don.
I'm going to write that down.
I've got to quit. I've got to quit drinking this diet coffee.
704.
312.
312.
REAL.
REAL, which is
7325.
7325. We knew that.
Okay, I'll just
give us a call.
Yes. BR549.
Do you remember that show?
I do.
I love that show.
And you know what? People love that show. And they were just as real as the day is long.
Gloom, despair, and
agony on me. Oh. See, we had a choir out there.
Dark depression. I love that.
Yeah.
That's classic.
But you know, Christians don't watch that, Bob.
No. Super spiritual all the time. Well, it's good. No, I think this is a good thing, though. The idea of trying to become free and live free and not have the whole hang on and do all that there is to do for my own sake so that I look good. It's time. It's time that the church just recognize who the real Lord and Savior is.
Yes.
You know.
If the world that does not know Christ is depending on you being perfect enough to represent Him in all His glory, we're going to lose.
Yeah.
But if all your at your best day is you pointing at Jesus, then okay, I can do that.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
can say no, it's God.
Yeah.
It's the Lord.
It makes it a lot easier to be able to witness. I'll tell you that. It makes it a whole lot easier. Well, Jesus, He's the right one. I just don't look at me. I'm giving it my best shot.
All right.
All right, listen, we're going to get ready. We're going to open up the phones. So call us, talk about it with us, whatever. Bring anything tonight. It doesn't matter. We're open to anything. We could talk about softball, which, by the way, you came in and saw my little girl throwing. What do you think?
She is a dynamite
Now, don't just say that because we're on here. What do you think?
Well, I'm not the best judge of it because, I'm just not well versed in it. But I don't want to stand up there and take her pitch. I can tell you that.
I can tell you that you might get hit in the head, and then what?
Man,
she hit me right here.
I saw it.
Did you hear it? It was
thud.
Thud. So yeah, that'll be sore.
Only a dad can act like that, didn't her?
Catch it.
I tried to get out of the way of it. It moved. It hit the piece of pavement and came up on me. I couldn't get out of it fast enough. Anyway, 704-312-7325. Call us. We're going to get ready to go. Take us away, Rachel, to a commercial. Can you do that?
I can
Hit
do
it.
that.
Love it.
Yay, we got commercial.
busy. The pace of life is changing around us every day. With constant access to entertainment and information, we are losing track of time. Ironically, as we become more mobile, we continue to spend our lives sitting down, stuck, never moving forward into all that Christ has called us to. At Real Church, we want to see everyone find and fulfill their destiny in Christ. With a variety of resources that fit into your busy lifestyle, see your faith challenged and grow. Real Church Online, where believers live outside the box.
Awesome. So, yeah, I was saying we've got a tournament this weekend coming up with the girls. So, yeah, it's going to be, we're out in Spartanburg.
Yeah,
You've taught me
Spartanburg.
how to say it right.
Yeah.
I've been saying Spartansburg because we had a Spartans store. I know, it's wrong. So I fixed it. Spartanburg.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's very cool. So
You're
yeah,
from
we'll be out there.
the Midwest kind of, and you're still learning. It's not Rutherfordton. It's Ruffton, and it's
It's
Spartanburg.
Ruffton?
Ruffton.
Ruffton, North Carolina.
Y'all need to learn how to spell it then.
Well, no.
That'd
no.
be Ruthon.
We have no
Ruffton.
issues with it.
Yeah, you also call it
It's quicker.
Wingate.
Go ahead and say
Wingate.
Rutherfordton.
Well, I would.
3 times.
That's a name. Rutherfordton. Rutherfordton.
You already missed it a little bit there. No, so I do have a softball Christian story.
Well, let's have it. I'm ready
Well,
for it.
here we go. My sisters were playing softball. My dad is getting up there in years, and he's watching from the stands. And his grandson was sitting in the red clay dirt down here playing in the sand. And my dad's into the ball game, and this is a Christian game. Come on.
Right.
So you're saying things like, use your good eye, ump,
Right.
You're not saying any bad words.
Nothing the other way, right.
But my dad catches out of the corner of his eye this man pushing his grandson, his shoulder, down towards the dirt. And my dad, at this time, he was probably 70.
Dad's
70-ish.
Christian.
Yeah. So he's coming out of the
Dad's a
stands.
Christian, though, right?
Yeah, he's Christian.
Yeah. All right.
But in the Navy, he boxed Golden Gloves, so he came
So he's
out
got
of
a
the
little
stand.
death in his hands.
Well,
right?
he's reaching back, and he's going to take this guy totally out.
okay.
Guy wasn't even going to see it coming. My
All
dad's
right.
like, hey, he's younger, I'm older, I'm just going to take him out.
Right.
Well,
I'll fix this right now.
this guy, this other fella, young, bulky guy, right when my dad was coming, hooked his arm in my dad's arm and stopped him.
Thank God.
He said, no, don't. He's autistic. He's autistic. My dad said, artistic or not, I'm taking this guy out. Artistic. My sisters are all going, oh boy. The whole game had stopped, everything.
Yes.
But, you've got to protect the little ones.
That's classic. Well, I'll tell you what, it gets a little heated
So
at the end.
when does chicken come into the story?
That's an after-game glow, Bob.
It gets a little heated at these games, I'm telling you. It
come
definitely
on.
does, man. I mean, the parents get a little tense. They get a little upset. Christian or not, they get a little tense. How's the bowling thing? Do people get bent out of shape over that as well or not? No.
Do we, Arnold?
Not you guys. Do other people?
We don't.
Bob does. Somebody's
I get upset with myself.
the brother says, we don't. You do. But we don't. But you do.
Is that a venue for you guys in terms of displaying Jesus out there on the?
Absolutely.
Good.
Get a chance to do that.
That's good. I don't think I've ever actually seen Jesus on the softball field.
I don't know that I'm portraying him very well out there. I give it my best shot. I don't yell. The people get upset with the umps.
Yeah.
And I mean, my daughter's the one pitching, right? So I should be able to get upset. But as long as he's calling them fair on both sides, and generally they do. If a guy won't call on the inside for this team,
He's
and then he doesn't
consistent.
call, he
That's
doesn't
all
call.
you can
so you
hope
just,
for.
Yeah, you just say, well, move over.
Yes.
Don't throw it on the inside because he's not going to give you.
And
a strike.
you've never had a tete-a-tete with anybody out there on the field.
Well, it's good. It's good that you didn't bring that up, Don. I appreciate you allowing me to remain. Let's go back to the phones. Anytime you want to call 704-312-REAL 7325. Make sure that you call. Yeah, I've had a couple of those. I had one.
One. Okay.
Well, one that I can remember. One
Did
that
you
was
make
really
it-
painful.
Did you make it redemptive in the end?
Well, I tried. Let me say it this way: the fella and I now are friendly.
Is that when you visited him in the hospital later?
No, I didn't visit him in the hospital after I hit him. No, I didn't. He never got. I never hit him. Let's be clear. Never hit him.
okay. All right.
But I did. We just got a little tense. I tend to mirror people. Do you know what I mean by that?
Yeah.
So
So you
if
come
some-
up to that level of intensity.
If you're going to be
if needed.
stupid,
Yeah.
I feel like stupid's the order of the day.
Yeah.
Like I just can't go, well, you're stupid, and back away
Right.
from that. I go, oh, you're stupid? I can play stupid. I got stupid.
Yeah.
So I do that, and that's never.
Is that
I'm-
easy for you to do, role play stupid? Is that easy?
Well, it's typecasting, really, so it works out pretty easy for me. But I'm just
see.
saying, no, whenever that happens, if somebody's going to be goofy about something, I just think the only way that you can really deal with if somebody's going to act tomfoolery,
Yes.
the only way if they wouldn't do that if that isn't how they understand stuff.
Yeah.
So if you're going to be stupid, then for me to really communicate with you, I have to be stupid.
Right.
Otherwise, you don't get it. Now I don't know that that's exactly right, but that's how I live.
Yeah.
And
That's your MO.
Christ has forgiven me a lot of times for the mistakes that
Yes.
come with that. But I'm just saying,
Have you ever tried, loving the brother?
I have. If they're loving, I generally will do that pretty well.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if somebody's really, there's been a lot of times that somebody's been stupid and I've loved them. But if you get in my face, I have small man's disease. You know what that is?
Yeah.
I have small man's disease, so I have got to be 4 times bigger just to
Yes.
try and stay alive.
Well,
so if you get in my face, and this guy got right in, I have a personal issue.
Well,
like this
personal
is
space.
as close as I want you to be.
Right.
I mean, you're nice, but I
I've
don't.
seen you hug him.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
it's a quick in and out hug.
Well, I don't mind a hug, but I don't want you like if you came up like this and then started talking to me,
Yes.
down at me.
And there's some who that's how they operate.
This guy came right in on me, and that was I just felt obliged to kind of come on back just a little closer.
That's an excellent topic, by the way.
I bet. Yeah.
What is your Achilles heel? What is your Achilles heel? What is
Yeah.
the thing that
What's the one thing that
pulls your
really
trigger?
pulls your
Yeah.
because that one does it for me. If somebody gets in my grill, disrespect is really a hard thing to overcome. I think. Again, there's lots of different things that we probably all deal with, but for me, like if you out and out just blatantly on purpose are disrespectful to me or somebody around me, I have a little bit of social justice that takes over, whether it's
Yes.
right, wrong, or indifferent. And my son, quite honestly, has the exact same failing because he's watched his dad do it for so long that
Yes.
he's got that failing now himself. So that's mine. Social justice. If it'd be like your dad.
Yes.
Somebody's hurting that kid. Well, now I have to kill him.
Yes.
I didn't mean
It's
to, but
true.
I had to. Officer, it was necessary.
Oh, boy.
I have no idea.
We were at a Bojangles, and the guy behind the counter, and my son was only maybe 4, maybe 5, and we're in Bojangles, he's standing there. There's other children, I mean the whole line. Well, this guy was using some of the foulest language that your mind could come up with.
Right.
And he's behind the counter, and he's yelling at his manager using all it. And I can put up with it if it's just me.
Yeah, as long as you're saying it, it's no big deal.
Well,
I mean, it's
that
just when
hurt
somebody.
a little bit.
It's just when
But you're
somebody
probably
else-
right.
Yeah.
No, so I'm like when the children are involved, or you have your children or
Yeah,
your grandchildren,
your wife,
you
that
just
bothers
can't
me, yeah.
do it. You've got to do something.
What'd you do?
Well, I told
hit
him.
him.
I said,
In the name of the Lord.
I said, stop that. Stop that language right now. Don't use that language around these children. He goes, "Are you talking to me?" And I said, "I'm talking to you. And pretty soon I'm going to talk to you face to face. Do you hear me?" I put my hands on the counter and was coming over the counter when he backed off and realized, okay, this man's gone crazy.
Yeah.
And I'm going to stop. And he stopped. He stopped his mess, and he didn't say another word.
Yeah, that's good.
Well, is that Christian?
What? You didn't hurt him?
No.
See, that's the thing. I don't think that being Christian means that you have to be nicey nice all the time. I think there's a moment when you go, that's enough of that.
Yeah.
Don't do that anymore.
Just being a man,
Well, Jesus,
calling out.
Again, you said it earlier. He did.
he
He sat down. This is premeditated.
yes.
This is premeditated. He sits down and makes the whip.
Yeah, premeditated.
Dude, that's
time.
That's premeditated.
Yeah.
I've thought this through. Yeah, I'm going to whip him.
Yeah.
I've had enough.
It's
so
over.
that's what I'm saying. It's like we don't talk about that in church because that's not polite. You know, the Jesus with hat in hand. Yes, sir, may I have another? That's the Jesus we talk about. That's not Jesus in a lot of time, a lot of places. He's
his
very tough.
patience towards those he came to save is extraordinary.
Yes.
But those who stood in the way of that,
I just feel like when they got stupid, he just said, "Well, if you're going to be stupid,
I'm
then,
done
Yeah,
here."
Yeah, I'm going to have to tell you. I'm going to have to show you your stupidity.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
He did that towards the brothers. It wasn't towards, I guess, the world, if you will.
Yeah, it wasn't against the lost. It was against those who thought that they had it together. The Jews, right?
I'm
The
just
ones
saying, how can we extrapolate that to our living amongst the world, though? I don't think we can really. We're saying that, yeah, Jesus took up with somebody and made the whip and all that. But that doesn't, I'm not sure that gives us the scriptural reference to go do that out in the world.
I don't think I'm gonna.
You know,
I'm
so-
not righteous, so I don't think I'm gonna go get the whip and start beating people. But my point is, I can certainly, when you're acting goofy, as a brother in the faith, I certainly have the right to say to all brothers that claim Jesus as their Lord and Savior, they are my brothers. I have every right to say to you, you're an idiot and you're acting like an
No,
idiot
I
because
agree
you're
with
doing
that
the wrong
part.
thing.
But
But the unsaved person, right?
Mhm.
I wouldn't say you're an idiot. I would say go and sin no more. I would be way more, just like Jesus was way more temperate with
Right.
the unsaved
That's
than he
good.
was.
That's kind of my point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We just can't take the whip to everybody just because.
No.
No.
No,
No.
clearly.
That's just.
Yeah, he wouldn't do that. He didn't do that.
Right.
No.
He was way patient with the lost. He
Yes.
came to save the lost. The people that kept getting in the way of him saving the lost, that's when it became. It was because they had all these rules. We talked about it a little bit today. They had, every time Jesus' disciples did something, they're like, they weren't washing their hands, on the Sabbath. And he's like, have you guys ever read the scriptures? I mean, he points, have you ever read the scriptures where David's boys went in and got the showbread? Are you with me?
Yeah.
What? Have you seen any of this?
Clearly, we can misconstrue not only the scriptures, but what we think is right and wrong. We can skew that so bad, as a matter of fact, and we were talking about this not too long ago in Revelations, it talks about you're going to be blind. In that day, they're so blind, they're calling good evil and evil good. And if that can happen, and if that is happening, which I believe it is, do you not believe that the Lord is into you being able to call some light into that darkness? I'm not talking about judging. I'm saying let's talk about let the light penetrate that blindness. So,
Yep. Any phone calls? Not a one.
You're at 15 minutes.
I'm at 15 minutes. Well, if nobody's going to call in, I guess we'll just end this thing. I feel
Well,
good about it.
so be it.
I felt like I had a good evening. We wanted y'all to call in and hang out with us, but
yeah.
it's all right. It's okay.
Bob, did you have anything you want to add, throw in?
Huh?
Oh, this has really been good. Oh, boy.
That's really the right answer, though.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Were you talking? What did you say? That's classic.
He's
How
getting
about
a
you guys?
bump
Anything
over
over there?
That was good.
Look at her. She's shaking her head. Not a chance. Looks good to me. Beautiful. Well, all right. Next week, same bat time, same bat channel.
We're
Yes.
going to work on this.
Prime example, social justice or man's rule changes with time and culture, as
Yeah.
you said.
Yeah.
But it changes from country to country. But it's not new. God's justice and his rules are
Righteousness.
the same always.
Always.
Yeah.
And so in Jesus' time, way back in the Old Testament, they would have kept that as a house of prayer, but it slowly changed over to something else, so he just set it right again. That's
Yes.
the same today. It's coming. We're going
Yeah.
to see judgment again. for the laxity that's coming into the culture.
Yeah.
Yes.
The thing of it is, though, I think with the church going on now is what happens is they go, well, you know what? Those 10 Commandments, those are real. If you understood the purpose of those 10 Commandments, then I would agree with you. But if you're trying to still live righteously by living those 10 Commandments, you have missed what the 10 Commandments were about.
Dave Taylor's on the line.
Hey, Dave Taylor. What's up, Brother Taylor? Are you there?
Hey, is this Domino's?
This is Domino's. Hey, what can I do you for? This is Domino's. We've got two mediums for $5 each, special if you pick them up.
I thought that was only at Little Caesars.
That's good, brother. What are you doing? How's things out in Cali?
Just hanging out here, trying to, whatever.
Yeah, working hard. Well,
Yeah, not anymore. Bob. Since Bob took the rest of the day off, I figured I would as well.
I like that. You got any thoughts for what we're talking about tonight?
I think it's good. I think that whenever you can talk about and get people focused on grace and love, I think you're better off than talking about what they should and shouldn't do.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that was Jesus' whole program, right?
Yeah, I mean, if we're going to set up as Pharisees, then we need to be whipped and constrained. But if we're coming at him with an open heart and trying, following him, then the grace and love is going to be applied.
Yes.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, it's hard to be humble when you think you're doing it all right. And Jesus in the word it says this, that I will stand against the proud,
Whoa.
but I will give grace to the humble. And so, it's every time we think we're doing something right, we really just need to check ourselves before we wreck ourselves, make sure that we're receiving the grace as opposed to trying to get it right ourselves all the time.
Check ourselves before we wreck ourselves.
That's it, Bob. Did you like that?
That was very good.
That's
I'm
good.
writing it down.
Okay, that's good. We're writing it down. Any other thoughts, Dave?
Anchovies are too much.
Okay, well, we won't put the anchovies on then.
X on the anchovies.
We'll get you that supreme minus anchovies.
I like that mod pizza that Bob was eating tonight. That's what I'm
Did
interested
you eat
in.
Mod? Yeah. And so tonight we are sponsored by Mod Pizza. So, if you haven't been there, try it.
Hey, maybe they'll send money.
Maybe they will. You know what? I get the mini. I like the mini and the mini salad.
Yes.
And then my wife and I get that. And then, we split it. We eat half a salad and half a pie, which is pretty good.
Yeah, but it's not the mini pie when you do that.
Oh, yeah.
You get the mod
yeah.
pie, right?
No, I get the
mod
mini.
pie.
I get the mini.
The mini pizza?
Yeah, it's all right.
Okay.
We're skinny people.
All right.
Dave, what do you eat when you go there?
I don't get to eat very much because I'm working really hard.
I know. You eat the barbecue pizza. I saw you eat the barbecue pizza there one time.
It looked like a large
When I
pie
get the mod,
Sunday,
yeah, I
Dave.
do.
Yeah. I'm not into barbecue. I can't do
Well,
pineapple.
listen, guys,
Thank you, Dave. Thanks for calling in, man. Love you.
Thanks for the show, guys. I like listening to it, and I think that we're moving in the right direction, even if Don's not using that coloring stuff yet.
No, it's good. I think that's the whole deal. We'll get to the coloring stuff later on. His hair or in his Bible, either one or both.
Well, Dave, if you notice, I did color my hair a little bit. I'm going to quit doing that and let it go all black.
Yeah, I knew that was coming. That's an old barber joke. I heard that one coming from a mile away. That's beautiful.
It's always fresh.
Well, love you, man. Thanks for calling.
Hey, have a good night, guys.
Don't work too
See
hard.
you,
too,
Dave.
buddy. Well, that is awesome. Anybody else? I don't want to run off without anybody else. Well, it's great. I enjoyed myself tonight. Did you enjoy yourself?
That was fun.
Yeah, it was
that
good.
was fun.
And I got to hear about your pappy
Yeah.
knocking somebody out.
Oh,
That was
man.
beautiful.
Yeah, I'm glad he got caught. He might have been going to jail.
We're going to be right back here next week. Don't miss us. Same time, 7 o'clock. We're going to be right here doing the same sort of thing. So, dial in. Hang out with us. Have some fun. It's going to be good.
Yeah,
Very good.
it's good.
Thanks much. See you next time. Bye.